efficient in third and long situations last season. Early test for them on their first drive. Love airs it out. Complete. Going down low. Romeo Doubs out of bounds inside the 40. Another look at 3rd down and 6. Love back to pass. Floats it near the end zone. Incomplete. No flag.
Well, they went after the rookie, Quinyon Mitchell.
Packers look like they've got better footing.
Oh, we got a little bit of a Hoosiers type feel. 3rd and 15. Hurts from the end zone. Intercepted. Taken away by Xavier McKinney. The big offseason acquisition inside the 20. Love, screen, Jacobs looking to set up his blocking. Jacobs across the 15 and not much further. This one from 31, his first attempt in the NFL.
Really solid in pregame.
And he's really solid right here. First points in Brazil. And get it upfield. Brown and Alexander matched up. Oh, Hurts fumbles the snap. Green Bay's right there. They jump on it. 2 turnovers in this opening quarter from Jalen Hurts as it's taken right back. 2nd and 11. Put Reed in motion. Quick strike. It's caught just shy of that first down yardage at the top. 3rd and goal. Love on Corks. Incomplete. Looked like another slip from Watson. So Narveson back on this time for a 23-yard attempt after making from 31 on the last drive. And Narveson is 2 for 2 to start his NFL career. 3rd and a long 1. Hurts over the middle. It's caught. Flags down. Brown has the catch.
And blend that with some of the things that he really feels strongly about.
Hurts back to the air. Rifles. Caught. Devontae Smith makes one man miss. Oh, he gets walloped right at that first down marker. Dwindling down this first quarter with 2 first downs here. Play action pass right back to Smith. Setting up his blocker. Smith slips through and gains 9. Calcaterra in motion. Handoff Barkley. Barkley up the middle. Into the secondary for a first down. Hurts looking the other way. Lofts it. Barkley end zone. Makes the grab. Touchdown Philadelphia.
Well, what you're going to see is A.J. Brown is going to run the post, and he's going to draw the 2 deep defenders. That isolates Barkley on an inside linebacker, and that was a mismatch. No chance for Isaiah McDuffie in man coverage. He came from the inside out, and Barkley was wide open, but it was...
Extra point from Elliott gives Philadelphia its first lead here in Brazil. Wilson stays out there, has the handoff on 2nd down, finds the hole, Wilson up the middle, into the secondary, and he slips down. See who can get involved potentially here. Instead, delayed handoff, Wilson chewing up yards inside the 40 and push forward inside the 35. After Jacobs went for 6 carries but just 4 yards. It is Reed on the jet sweep. Reed showing off the speed inside the 20. He could go, and he will. Jaden Reed, electric, 33 yards, touchdown, Packers.
What a drive by Emmanuel Wilson, both as a runner and a blocker on the touchdown play.
Extra point from Narveson is through, but a flag is on the field.
Offside. Defense, number 98. Green Bay is elected to enforce that penalty from the 2-yard line and attempt a 2-point try.
Jumbo package, Jacobs in there. Jacobs up the middle, he won't get there. The Eagles once again make a stand defensively. Hurts, hit as he throws, it's caught, Brown makes a man miss, Alexander whiffed on the tackle, and Brown with a first down and a whole lot more. Look in that direction, Hurts pumps, fires, oh, it's caught, beautiful ball, Smith wiggles his way just shy of the red zone. Philly has converted 3 of its last 4 on 3rd down. And it, Barkley Touchdown, Eagles. Saquon with his second.
Well, watch this. Another great double team here. And there's going to be an unblocked guy. Walker's going to come right in here. Quay Walker, and watch the little quick cut. And that's what Nick Sirianni said. The thing that surprised him about Saquon was seeing his cuts live and seeing him every day in practice.
I'm just glad that I'm on this side of it now. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to lose sleep over the cuts he's going to make against my team as Elliott tacks on the extra point and makes it 14-12. But Watson in motion on 3rd and 10. Love steps up on the run. Wide open, Jayden Reed. Make a man miss. Reed, goodbye. Touchdown, Packers, 70 yards.
Well, I'm not sure what the free safety is going to end up doing here because everybody's dropping into zone. And that guy right there has got the deepest coverage. And Jayden Reed's running across the field. And for whatever reason, C.J. Gardner-Johnson is just nowhere near the deep.
38 yards for Braden Narveson. And the kick is good. Sneaks it in.
Devontae Smith had a little more success going against Alexander.
They're matched up again. Hurts looking that way. It's caught. Brown, first down, sheds the tackle of Alexander. A big 3-year extension this offseason. Hurts. Lofts it, caught on the run. Goddard lowers the shoulder and picks up a few extra. Hurts on 4th and 3. Rifles. Smith. Did he hold on? He did. Hurts to throw on 2nd down. Dump it. Gainwell makes 2 miss. Gainwell a 1st down catch and run with some power to finish. Dotson in motion. Hurts surveys. Shimmy shake. Hurts can't get away. Big time play by Keyshawn Nixon.
Yep, they'll spike it. Just had to make sure they're all set. And they're letting that clock go all the way down, so this field goal attempt is the last play of the first half.
Lovato, the snapper, man, the holder, and Elliott's kick is true. Eagles get points to end the first half.
That is no real weaknesses to go with Jalen Hurts.
2nd down and 7. Hurts with time. Lofts it over the top. Brown's got it. Here goes A.J. Brown. Blinding speed. Brown. Touchdown. 67 yards. Alexander said to us, he wants more targets. He's getting his wish so far.
Yeah, and this is where Jalen Hurts over the last couple years has really made his money. Outside the numbers, throwing to A.J. Brown particularly and Devontae Smith.
We already saw Jordan Love's longest touchdown pass of his career. That's the 2nd longest touchdown pass of Jalen Hurts' career as Elliott tacks on the extra point and makes it a 5-point Eagles advantage. 4th highest winning percentage among coaches in the Super Bowl era. There's a nice run. Oh, Jacobs lost the ball, and it's picked right back up by Green Bay. Big play, Slay got his hand in there, poked it loose. But it sets this Green Bay offense up now in Philadelphia territory. Take the handoff, over the middle, beautiful ball for Tucker Kraft with room to run down the sideline inside the red zone. Love to the end zone. Watson spins his way for the touchdown.
Out of the middle, which is going to open up this slant for the big wide receiver. A little hesitation, let that route clear, let the opening happen, and then a beautifully timed and accurate throw by Jordan Love. Again, throws that a little bit off platform, but enough on the football to get the touchdown.
Narveson extra point. Pack right back. All-American last season out of the SEC. Hurts feels the pressure. No, he doesn't. Down he goes. Devoured. Rashawn Gary wreaking havoc on this drive. Back to 2nd and 11. Love floats over the middle. Dangerous. Picked off. Reed Blankenship
Well, this was really well played by Zach Bond, first of all.
Barkley already with 2 touchdowns on the day, the spin move, and a first down. Lucas Van Ness dragged them down. Barkley got the largest deal a running back has gotten in Philly since 2015. Barkley pushing 8 more. Jalen Hurts tied an NFL record with Josh Allen with 15 rushing touchdowns last year. Instead, he gives it to his running back. And Barkley fights. Touchdown! It's a hat trick for the newest Eagle.
Just the lower body strength. Watch him drag a couple tacklers into the end zone. He's stopped right here. He keeps the legs moving and he pulls defenders with him and gets that ball to break the plane.
And Philly goes up 31-26. Saquon Barkley, of course, a legendary career at Penn State, and back in the state, he is continuing to produce. Dobbs with a tough catch. Toledo football player taken in the first round since Dan Williams in 1993. Didn't allow a touchdown in coverage in college last year. Jacobs after the catch and run. Now he's finding some space. Jacobs into the secondary.
He's been kind of quiet so far as Bryce Huff right there, the guy they got from the Jets.
Love delivers incomplete on the fingertips of Reed.
Interesting path. 4 different schools in 6 years of college. And his debut in the NFL.
Oh, that one hit the upright. Missed it. But his first miss sets up the Eagles now at the end of the third. Handoff Barkley. Barkley, look out! Home run! Saquon Barkley has that big playability. Love uncorks over the middle, wide open. Calcaterra. Jalen Hurts now at 241 and the 2 touchdowns producing. Looking for more. He's got it to Brown. And another first down catch. 3rd and 13. Just get it off. Hurts flushed. Hurts directing traffic. Looking end zone. Oh, it's picked off. Jair Alexander. Looking to take it out. Developing. Alexander tracked down by Smith. He didn't have a single interception in the regular season last year. Comes up with a huge play to get his offense back on the field. Here's Jacobs. Jacobs through the hole. Jacobs on his feet. And Jacobs out of bounds at the 45.
You have Watson going against Maddox at the top.
Love sets, fires, may have been hit. Doesn't matter. Jaden Reed right there for the big reception. Understanding of this playbook, it's allowed him to go out there and play fast. And play fast he has. Nice run by Emmanuel Wilson.
Vaughn out there with him.
Love delivers. Incomplete. Dobbs, the intended target, a little too high as Maddox did deliver a little contact. And Narveson brings this game to within 2. Eagles, who have started 10-1 in back-to-back seasons, looking to push their way through, and that guy is certainly going to help. Saquon Barkley. Hurts looking to escape. Hurts will run. Hurts slips down. Barkley in motion, 2nd and 8. Hurts looking to get away. Walker tries to get to him, and Hurts fighting for the extra yards. Going to the air. Hurts, complete. Smith breaks a tackle. Smith's got a first down in the red zone. Barkley stays in, 104 rushing yards in his debut. They will throw. Hurts. It's caught. Devontae Smith. It looks like tush push it'll be on 3rd and goal. Hurts. Oh, he fumbled the snap, and Barkley has to jump on it. And more exchange issues with the new center, Cam Jurgens. Elliott knocks it through. And another flag is down. Jacobs the back. Kraft the motion man. What type of magic does Jordan Love have in Brazil? Rolls out. Love uncorks. Oh, it's open. Reed has it. First down and a big one out of bounds. Jacobs the back. Kraft the motion man. What type of magic does Jordan Love have in Brazil? Rolls out. Love uncorks. Oh, it's open. Reed has it. First down and a big one out of bounds. Here's the ball game. Final 3 seconds from Brazil. Willis slips. Willis steps up, goes down. Game ender. Who else but Zach Baun? What a day. The linebacker seals it, and the Eagles in this battle of heavyweights start the season with a win.